Alright, we are back for game number 3. Playing some EfficienSai, an MTG Arena standard. We're off to a 2-0 start, which I can certainly appreciate. Hopefully we can keep the streak rolling, and hopefully we don't run against another deck that's going to make us draw to the last 10 cards before we win, but if we do and we get a win out of it, I can't be too mad. So, we'll see. Excuse me. Oh, 6-man can. This deck has been a charm to play so far, save for the fact that some of the games have been a little bit long. But that's kind of to be expected. We're kind of grinding the opponent out with this. We're not trying to kill them on turn 5 or turn 6. We're trying to kill them on turn 20 at the end of the day. And sometimes we get early kills, which is great, but it's not to be expected necessarily. Opponent seems to be on, most likely, mono red aggro. It could be also some sort of burn deck. But showing Courier and Soulscar Mage, I'm going to assume that he's holding some shocks in hand. And is going to be ready to deal with my Glint Nest Crane here, but we're going to play it anyways. See if we can eat some of that removal and make way for Sai to come down and not suffer any extra damage. Getting a Sky Scanner to pick up is quite nice. We are really just looking to buy some time here, more than anything. So we will block Bomat Courier, and if we kill it, that's great. If we don't kill it, that's also okay. Just eating through some of his removal. He is going to discard his hand immediately, because he is on 1 land on his starting hand. We did get to get rid of a Unlicensed Disintegration, a Chandra, and a Chain Whirler that all would have been complete pains in the butt for us to deal with, so we're happy about that. Plus, he's only down to a couple cards now. We'll drop Psymaster Thopterist, and I'm actually okay with just beating in here and letting him do whatever he wants to do with his Soulscar Mage. He did hit land, but he's still down on 3 cards right now. At the end of the day, we're going to let Soulscar Mage slip by. We're not going to leave ourselves open to getting shocked and then having Sai die. That would not be good for us. If he wants to bolt our Crane, go ahead. There's the scoop. Excellent. Game 3 in the books. Mono red aggro. Red deck wins. What is this? That was just a terrible start from our opponent, though. That had really nothing to do with the deck that we were playing at the end of the day. So I will give that concession to the current ladder run that we are on, and put 3-0 in quotations. We are 2-0 with a free win against a bad draw from Red Deck Wins. Either way, we're off to a no-losses start here. If this were a tournament on MTG Online, we might have just taken the first place prize. Our opponent, Liliana. We are on 3 lands with Sai and Karn. This is a odd hand, but it's not necessarily a bad hand as long as we find some artifacts or extra land, which is basically all that's left in the deck. So it looks like another Red Deck Wins coming down. There's an artifact. So we have follow-up to our Sais. Chances are the first one's going to get removed. I don't know if our opponent's going to be able to remove it with 1 card, though. They'll probably have to spend 2 to kill it, so it'll be a 2-for-1 for us. He's playing Pyromancer. Alright, so we are a little bit scared by how fast our opponent's going, for sure. We're not going to be able to do anything about it for a little bit either. This might be too slow of a start against our opponent's deck. If I knew that they were on Red Deck Woods, I would have probably mulliganed this. We've got some really good cards against red, but this is not it. So he is triggering his prowess by using his shocks right now, which is actually kind of good for us. We're less afraid of losing Sai now. I'll probably block with the first Sai. There's also some consideration as into whether we implement next turn or whether we Karn. I think implement's a better play. We're probably not going to sack it to draw, because we're probably going to use it in order to make our Karn tokens better, I think is going to be the plan. Here's Pyromancer doing some work again. We're going to block one of the Pyromancers, I think. And if we die to shock, we die to shock. No shock's real good. Okay. This is a better play than either of the other ones for us, because it gets us a actual blocker on the board instead of just a token, and Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot's going to make us a token as well. We're going to take a damage from it, which puts us at 6, which is real scary. We die to more Pyromancers and shocks, or we die to bolts. 2 bolts takes us out. Fountain of Renewal is going to be really good next turn, assuming that we're not dead by then. No attackers, obviously. We're just holding back. Holding on for dear life. But if we live to next turn, we get to really start going off. We just hope we're not dead to bolts. Or Chain Whirler. No, I guess Chain Whirler's not that bad for us. It actually kills one of his Pyromancers as well. So we'll block Pyromancer with a Thopter. Karizev's expertise. He is taking control of our Sai until next turn, right? Yep. So my assumption is to block like this. And block like this. He doesn't have mana to bolt us this turn. And this guarantees that we're not going to get swept up by anything weird. Fountain of Renewal is coming down. Island, Karn, minus. We're still dead to shock. Maybe I should have blocked differently. If I blocked one of his 2-attack creatures, we wouldn't be dead to shock right now. He's saying good game. Land. Please no shock. Please no Pyromancer. He's already gotten 2 Pyromancers and a shock out of the way, so he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 damage spells left in his deck. And then, assumedly, 4 deal 3 damage. Banefire as well. Yeah, Banefire will do it. So we have a win and a loss against red deck. It wouldn't have mattered if we blocked differently. He still had enough damage to kill us, but we could have still blocked better. It was still a technical misplay. And that can't be understated, of course. But we'll keep going. Hitting at least 4 wins, of course, would be ideal for us. We've got about another hour or so that we're going to be streaming. Hopefully we can finish this out by then. If not, I guess be looking forward to a part 2/part 3. I'm probably already going to break this up for YouTube into 2 parts, because I don't like making videos that are longer than an hour, or around an hour. We'll keep. So we've got Prophetic Prism and Scrap Trawler in hand. We do not have any of our ways to generate tokens immediately. but it looks like our opponent's probably on a slower deck. This could be black-white zombies, which is slightly faster than what we want to deal with the starting hand, but we do have a Burrell's Expertise in hand. A Johnny's Welcome coming down, so it's a life gain deck. We'll go ahead and drop Scrap Trawler, I think. If this eats a piece of removal, it's not that terrible for us. Just being able to get something on the board's nice. And it's going to be draw go for this turn, at least. We're not going to be using Paradoxical Outcome while not holding up any mana, because it's just not good for us to do that. If we had 8 mana, 9 mana, I might Paradoxical these two, draw 4 cards. But just not with our current hand. It doesn't make any sense to do it in this situation. Renegade map's fine. We'll probably sack it during our upkeep. We'll go for the hit here. No reason to not punch him for 3. We are still holding up Disappearing Act as well. We have 2 of them in hand, so if he decides to do a seal away or something, we have a way to deal with it. There's an Angel of Invention, alright. It's potentially a good target for Baral's Expertise. We can bounce Angel, a Johnny's Welcome, and Prism, and just set him back some. Or Angel and both of the servos if he's on the go wide plan, which it looks like he is. My turn. Draw. There's a Sky Scanner. Main. Oh, I should have, again, sacked the Renegade map beforehand. I keep doing that. It's really easy to do that, even when you set up the stop, because you're clicking that next phase button that whole time. So yeah, we'll go for Baral's Expertise here. We're gonna bounce Angel and some tokens. Light free Sky Scanner. Beat him for 3. I think it is better for us to be doing something than doing nothing in this case. Despite the fact that this Angel's just probably going to come back down. Crested Sunmare. It's actually, I think a little bit better for us in a lot of ways. Oh, maybe not. Ooh, he's going to get to make horses for days. Okay, Prophetic Prism's good. The island's fine. We are looking at probably using Paradoxical at some point. No attackers. We're gonna use Scrap Trawler on the horse pretty soon. And we're probably gonna Disappearing Act his play here. We have to Disappearing Act that. That kills us so fast. I wanted the Disappearing Act the Angel if possible, but... this has to be the play. Despite the fact that he's going to get more horses now. Victory's Herald. Oh my. Alright. So, we'll stick this here. 1 blocker. It's going to pull us back a card. Not getting the Paradoxical there. Kind of sucks. Alright, we're at 8 land, so we'll play out Renegade map. This can happen with this deck where you don't draw your stuff and you just kind of end up stuck. Hopefully we find something next turn, but we're going to probably be Disappearing Acting the Angel of Invention, or the Chupacabra, potentially if we have to, I guess. Oh man, this isn't great. Let's return to Island, since we're planning on using Paradoxical combat step after we declare a blocker, because that's going to keep us alive with 1 HP. Which probably isn't good enough, honestly. Alright. Resolve. Oh, we can't block, because they have flying. Can Paradoxical hit anything that's good enough for us? I don't think it can. I think that we're just dead. Black-white life gain. Much better than the blue-white variant that we just ran up against, I think. I think it makes a lot more sense. Yep, that's gonna be game. That was just a terrible start. Maybe mulliganing for Sai makes sense, but you can't do it all the time. If you mulligan that aggressively with this deck, there's a chance that you just like don't find land on the next hand or something like that. I mean, that's always a chance. So we are at 3 wins, 2 losses. Looks like the back half of the series is going to be a little bit less exciting than the front half. But, I mean, this is cool because we're getting to feel out what the actual meta is a little bit. Black-white life gain, red deck wins. Still up there. Alright, opponent goes first. We've got efficient construction, so this is keepable. As long as we have either this or Sai, I think most hands are keepable. As long as you have enough lands. Opponent's on red, which means we're going to be dropping Fountain of Renewal right away, as opposed to waiting on it for efficient construction. But Sai is a great pickup. Opponent's probably going to assume that we are on Aetherflux Reservoir, which isn't a bad assumption. We are not quite as combo-y as Aetherflux Reservoir. We're not trying to be. So we'll play Prism here. Opponent is going to be further justified in their thought that we were probably on Reservoir. Adeli's a Cinder Wind coming down. That card's pretty scary. So this is blue-red Wizards, not mono-red burn. Could have probably figured that out earlier with the Highland Lakes and the Sulphur Falls, but that is what it is. We're going to drop Sai Master Thopterus right now. And there's a good chance that it gets removed. If it gets removed, we could end up in a little bit of trouble here. There is a Warlord's Fury. Creatures you control gain first strike until end of turn, draw a card. It's going to pump all of his guys up with Adeliz. Sulk Scar is going to get pumped twice. Another Warlord's Fury. Wow. That is a lot of damage coming in. Alright. So we can't block. We're going to have to start blocking next turn, basically. If he hits us in the face with a bolt here, I think we die. Opt. Does that do it? 5, 10, 17. Holy crap. That is a busted start from our opponent. Those are probably his 3 best creatures. Except for maybe Lava Runner. Could have been another Soulscar Mage. Alright. So we're going to finish this at 3-3. I think that, while not a great finish, shows that this deck has some potential. And I'm certainly not angry about our finish. So we're going to go ahead and claim our prize here. We did get a Mythic. What is our Mythic? It is Weatherlight. When Weatherlight deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card from among them. Put it in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Crew 3. It's a 4/5 flyer. And Chandra's Defeat. Merfolk Mistbinder's nice. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Let me find somebody for us to host on.